start doing some homework and better start facing the truth now. Because on the other side, you're not going to have any options. You're going to find out what the real truth was. And the real truth is that you never had any truth to start with.
I have always believed that there is life after this planet.
I do too. I totally believe that.
And let me share with you and the audience out there something that happened to me Monday afternoon. We were burying Herc. When he died, the last physical act that Wolf did was lean up and kiss the lady technician's face when she said to him, "Herc, when you cross the bridge, tell my little Rosie I love her and I miss her." He, in all his pain, reached up and kissed her face. Now, that was at 4:31 when he passed away. I talked to him to 4:35 because I knew his brain could still hear me.
Yes. I'll tell you, there has been too many...
Let me finish this real quick.
Yeah.
When my son and two other adults picked him up, they said he didn't weigh 110 pound, Pops. He weighed at least 150. They put him in his shroud so gently, put his feet underneath him, put his tail around his left side, put his head between his front paws, like he liked to lay when he could do that. When they buried him, they put him in that ground so tenderly, they laid him to rest. Literally laid him to rest. As they were covering him up, I'm standing there and tears are flowing. I looked up into the sky, and this vision appeared to me of him jumping and leaping and going across this beautiful bridge. And he got halfway across and turned around, and this feeling of love overwhelmed me, and I cried even harder. And then I looked, and the vision expanded, and I could see there was a female on the other side. She called him, and he started running to her. And before he got there, good Lord, he turned to me, and this look of love came out of his life, out of his eyes. It just totally engulfed me. And I looked again, and it was the lady who was married to the man at the time who gave me her 4.5 years ago.
I have heard many, many other experiences similar to that. I mean, there's been way too many scientific things which have happened to prove that we live on after the body, and that as far as I'm concerned, that's not even an issue anymore. I totally believe that. But my issue is, what are you doing with your life? Because if you don't do something with your life, somebody else is going to do it for you. And you're merely going to be the servant, the manservant of another. You're going to be crawling on your knees to somebody else if you don't stand on your own feet and do your own thinking. So that's what I've been trying to get people to do, is just realize...
And that's why I interviewed you tonight, and I'm so thankful that you accepted my invitation.
Well,
nothing happens by accident, my friend. Nothing happens by serendipity, by chance, by fate, or whatever. It's called synchronicity.
I think you're right. Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind you're right. Because I don't do too many radio interviews anymore. I don't talk to people very much anymore. I've got a lot of materials out there on videos, out on YouTube and Google, but I didn't put anything out there. Understand, that's another thing people should know. Anything you're watching out there on Google or YouTube of me, I haven't put it out there. I've never put anything ever on any computer anywhere. So people buy a video from me, go home, download it, and put it out for free on the videos on YouTube. I've never done that. So if you're watching anything on YouTube or Google or any place else, I didn't do it. Somebody else did it. But I don't care. I mean, at least it's, my work is getting out there. So I do the best I can with what I have to work with, which is virtually nothing. Now, I live in a little 28-foot trailer on Social Security. I don't have anything. I don't own anything. I have no bank account. I have no checking account. I haven't had a credit card in over 35, 40 years. The banks have let me know that I cannot do any banking with any bank. I cannot do any banking with any bank anywhere. So I don't have credit cards. I don't have checkbooks. I don't own anything. Got nothing. Have nothing. I live in a 28-foot trailer at the behest of someone who gave me a place to live. So I don't have anything. I don't have a family. I got nothing. Period.
Jordan, you have more friends around this world than you ever, I think, will ever know in this lifetime.
Well, probably so.
And there's a group listening to you right now for the second hour on Skype, and they have a message for you. Tell Jordan we love him and we are listening intently. These are people who are awake and aware.
Well, I know there's going to be those out there who will be, and that's why I'm here. I'm not here to try and save the world. That's ludicrous. I mean, Alexander the Great couldn't save anybody, so nobody. There's no man's going to save anybody. But I do what I do because I'll tell you what really moves me and motivates me to be who I am and do what I do. It's because when I was a child, I personally wanted knowledge. I was one of those kids in school that I wasn't on skateboards. I didn't give a damn about your football games. After school, I was horrible in school. I flunked everything. Anything I could do in school, I flunked because I couldn't stand school. It was horrible to me. And as soon as I could get out of school, and I flunked everything. As soon as I could get out of school, I ran to the library and started reading and studying everything and taking notes. And I wrote notes to myself, just boxes and boxes of handwritten notes on every subject I could imagine. And my mind was going 100 miles an hour, looking into physics and science, and especially into theology and religion and philosophy. And then I'd have to go back to school, and my God, what a mess that was. And as soon as I get out, I run back to the libraries. So I have lived my life against the system. I never bought into the system from day one. I never understood it, and I never wanted to have anything to do with it. I've told the story before. You probably have heard. When I was a little kid, 9, 10 years old, I was Catholic. I was born and raised in Catholic family, and when you're about 10 years old, you get something called confirmation, which which is also in the Jewish religion. You have, about that time, you have something called confirmation. And we were told by the nuns in school that tomorrow night at church, when the confirmation ceremonies are going on, after the ceremony is over, that the bishop might possibly ask you children if you have any questions now that you're confirmed Catholics. Now you're totally confirmed to be a Catholic at 9 years old. That the bishop might ask you if you have any questions, and if that happens, then you are not to ask any questions whatsoever. You're not to have any questions at all. You just sit and shut him out. And so that night, the next night after the service was over, the bishop did say, if you children have any questions, I'll try and answer them. I stood up to make damn sure everybody knew it was me. And I asked him, I said, my father works with torches like a welder. I said, if I took a torch, could I burn an angel? If there was an angel next to me and I had a torch, could I burn him and hurt him? And the bishop said, well, something to the effect, well, no, you can't burn an angel. And I said, why not? And he said, well, fire is I remember him saying something to the effect that fire requires wood or paper or plastic or something. You can't just burn an angel. And I said, why can't you burn an angel? And they said, well, because an angels are spirits. And you can't burn a spirit. And I said, well, then why am I concerned about going to hell when my spirit will burn forever if you can't burn a spirit? The hell's going on here, And, of course, I remember a red-headed priest looked at me and pointed, sit down and shut up. And everybody in the church, I think nobody really got it because it was over their heads. They were all adults, but they had never thought about anything, so they didn't get it. but I got it. I realized then, that very night, that asking questions will get you in trouble.